Welcome to episode 77 of the Two Rash Challenges podcast. I'm Dave Lewis. That's Eric Neal over there. What's up, brother? It's the end of the season. Can you believe it?
Bittersweet kind of. Bitter that we're not going to have Premier League to watch. Sweet that I don't have to watch Newcastle anymore.
So, it's the end of July. We'd be gearing up for the Community Shield and the start of the season. And the season just ended, the EPL season. Crazy. This is crazy times, man. I don't know what to make of it.
No, I don't either. I actually saw something this morning. I think Wellesley sent it to me maybe that they may actually even delay the start for teams that go far in Europe because, there's four teams that you still have, Chelsea and City in the Champions League,
right,
and then Manchester United and I want to say Wolves or somebody in Europa.
Yeah.
So they're saying if they make it, really far to the end, that they may have to delay their start to the season even more, just because it's running right up against.
But you can't stagger, right? All the teams have to start the same day, so you're gonna have to. All the teams are gonna have to be delayed. The whole season's gonna have to be delayed.
No, they made it sound like they would just delay those games, like postpone them or do.
How do they figure that out? How are they gonna?
You see that happen sometimes with like the cup runs, right? Like a team will go far in the cup and they'll fiddle around with the schedule.
But they'll move it a day. Like if it's a Europa League Thursday, it's going to be a Saturday game. We'll move it to Sunday. That's about as much as they do.
I've seen them go
couple weeks
before, just move a game all the way out. But
a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, the whole thing. Come on. And then are we gonna have supporters in the stands? I don't know. USL still. I'm watching there on TV, man. They're just like, F you, COVID. We're doing it. We don't care who gets the disease, man. We're having fans.
Let's say you have 5,000 fans or 10,000 fans. They can sit. You have security guards. They're like, okay, you got to sit four seats apart. You'd make a little more money. Some fans would get it. You'd have a riot, though.
USL has to. They kind of don't have a choice. They'll go out of business because, you think the MLS TV contract is bad. I can't even imagine what the USL contract looks like. I bet the professional cornhole tour gets a better TV deal than USL.
I saw a USL game. I think it was at the San Diego Stadium out in California. I don't know what it's called, but it was it was a baseball stadium. I don't know. USL is kind of fun. I like to watch it. Phoenix Rising. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Didier Drogba played there. That's pretty good. Let's get to some real football.
All right.
The champions. I'm wearing my Knicks shirt because they stink like Newcastle. I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, nice.
Let's start. Let's get to the celebration game. I call it the celebration game. Liverpool beats Chelsea 5-3. It was a weird game for me because our boy Pulisic was playing. I wanted him to score like 3 goals, but Chelsea lose. I almost got my wish. Liverpool win 5-3. There was no defense being played. Pulisic comes on in the 30 minutes. First of all, Super Frank was dead to us because he didn't start. We don't know why he didn't start Pulisic. He comes on in the 60th minute and just schools people. I'm not talking world-class, breaking ankles. On his assist, he beats 4 Liverpool defenders, puts the nutmegs Joe Gomez, puts a beautiful cross on a plate to Abraham. And then he scores a goal that was amazing. Takes it in the box. I don't know if he chested it down, but he had plenty of time. Then he turns and he shoots and he crushes it into the roof of the net. And he could have had another goal, right?
Oh, yeah. He dragged the one wide, too. Really, yeah, great, amazing.
But he changed the atmosphere of the game. One player changed it all, and Pulisic, no doubt, is the best player on Chelsea. Don't tell me about Willian, or don't tell me about Mason Mount, which is Frank's boy. Pulisic is the best. So, anyway, that was that. 5-3. Chelsea don't get into the Champions League. They have to wait, to see if they get in on another day. But the celebration, the Premier League trophy is ours. And I know, Eric Neal, you're going to piss all over my parade, even though there wasn't a parade. You're going to just piss on that the stadium was empty. There was I just want to beat you to the punch. There was fireworks. There's no fans. The players are jumping up and down. Klopp is going crazy. I want to give you the argument right away. Before you even speak.
Okay.
If Newcastle won, what would you have done? The same exact thing. First of all, that's a dream. Never going to happen. But any other squad, this is not specific to Liverpool. Anybody would have done these fireworks. Anybody would have had an empty stadium, and anybody would have held the trophy and been really happy. and it's a legit season, no asterisks.
Okay, look, so
Done.
no, no. Look, shout out to our friend Marcus in Portugal. He sent a nice Facebook Messenger message saying that all of the over the top pyrotechnics and the $1 million stage and everything had that thing looking like a David Bowie video. So I thought that was the perfect saying right there. I really don't have any sort of issue with you guys doing that. Of course you do that. You're supposed to celebrate the title. I do, however, have an issue with your supportors. So
again, everybody would have done the same thing.
No, wait, stop.
Yeah, what? What are you telling me?
They've got the stay-at-home order, the social distancing order, all this stuff happening, and when they clinched the title, thousands of people going out, spreading coronavirus in the streets, trashing the neighborhood outside the stadium, making a mockery of all of the laws and the rules, doing all that stuff. You know what? Fine. It'd been 30 years. Fine. It makes sense. And you know what? You had to let the steam off. You had to do it. You don't go back and do it again because they're giving a trophy out in the stadium, which you can't even see when you could see it at home. So 9 people arrested after Liverpool fans celebrate outside Anfield despite warnings to stay home. So despite authorities urging supporters to watch Liverpool Premier League trophy presentation from home to avoid putting yourselves and others at risk, 3,000 fans gather outside Anfield to celebrate the team's triumph after their 5-3 win against Chelsea. Before the game, police set up a 48-hour dispersal zone around the stadium to prevent any potential for disorder. They went, F you, we're going anyway, haha. It's just a sham. Like, why did you need to do it twice? Once, I get it, it's fine. You didn't need to do it twice. And then you got knuckleheads on the last day showing up outside St. James's. For what? Like, why do you need to be
Because
there?
we're passionate. We love our team. No. Anybody, look, you guys punch horses, police horses.
Yeah.
We all have our things. A few fans that don't listen. We have some fans that don't pay attention. Yeah.
A few.
All right.
Okay.
I feel like, all right, let's move. Can we, I don't even know what to say to you. I cannot wait till next year. We have plenty of time in the next month or so to go over our predictions for next year. We're going to look at it. I know you're going to have Liverpool drop off. Newcastle will stay the same or drop. We know that. But I'm just saying, you'll make your, you're going to tell me Chelsea are going to do this. Manchester United are going to do that. City's going to reload. Liverpool are going to drop. We're going to come in second. All right, let's see how they do next year. The real test is going to be next year. We will back it up. You'll see, Eric Neal.
No. You did back it up. You
let's
backed
get
up
to
from
what?
last year to this year.
What?
That was the backup.
Yeah, okay. 99 points, right? Do you know why we got 99 points?
Yeah.
Why don't we ask Wellesley why I got 99 points? Because you know what? In the 2 Rash Challenges derby, who won, Eric Neal?
After you guys gifting us a sweet new record for us for fastest goal in the Premier League for Newcastle, you guys destroyed us. So why don't we go to our man on the streets of Newcastle, Andrew Wells?
Hello, this is Andrew Wells, live from Newcastle, and he has a report from the final 2 games of the season. So, obviously, we're going to start with the game I got wrong the other week, and that's Brighton. So, yeah, about that game, well, the people I spoke to, you could tell it was a game which basically meant nothing since both clubs were safe and there was nothing to go for because, honestly, like was reported by David Error, like, people were falling asleep watching the game. Even I was. I mean, like, I was watching them, literally, like, I started scrolling from my phone. That's how bored I actually got. But so I'll try not to talk too much because I can't really think of anything positive to actually say from that game. Neither can anybody else. So honestly, I'll just keep that one extremely quiet and then move on to the big game with Liverpool. And honestly, the first half, people were like, actually, I think we can actually nick something here, but because obviously after Dwight Gale broke our long-standing record of the shortest ever goal in the Premier League of 26 seconds, with a little bit of thanks to Wijnaldum, which loads of fans had to say, but obviously stuff goes on, and then basically Bruce just thought, right, that's it, shut up shop, and that's what people did not understand with that game. I mean, it was a dead game for us, really. So everyone's saying he should just play the kids and rested half the players, because you look and you see you've got like 4 youngsters on the bench, and you're like, give them a shot. Not just don't play an injured ASM and all that. Give him a rest, because to be fair, he bloody deserves it after the performances he's had. But obviously, Dubravka, he had another good game, and obviously there was nothing we could do about them goals. So I just all 3 of them were just fantastic goals. So obviously, that's something that can't be helped, and that was just complete lack of. That was the complete better quality from Liverpool compared to us with like players. However, when Keelan Watt came on to make his debut, people were really impressed with him and think he should be getting a fair decent run out in pre-season, because he just looked like he's been there for years, how comfortably fit he looked. But really, that's all I'm going to report from there. So before I wrap it up, I just thought I'd give my views on the final end of for a season review on the whole, because obviously there's nothing else to talk about. So honestly, I think we've done better than we actually expected. I mean, like I've said previously, I thought we'd just be in a massive relegation fight, which I've even got to admit, I think if we didn't have the restart and we just carried on, I think we would have been in that. Just my views. However, there has been some good moments in the season, like just staying in the ASM in general. I mean, like I said, he's just had a standout season. I mean, especially in half the games where he's literally tore up defenders like Zabaleta, Baines, etc., etc. But so obviously he's going to be He's going to be the one to watch again next year, see if he can keep it up. And a little downsides with obviously the style of football. I mean, it got so bland during half games. You're like, I can't be dealing with this anymore. But yeah, basically, I mean, and then going into the future, I mean, after that game against Liverpool, I really am starting to fear the worst if this takeover doesn't happen. Because I mean, we've literally got to pray. If we play that next season, we're definitely going to go down in my eyes. I mean, we need to massively invest in a striker. I mean, my personal view is just, even if we get a small budget, just go all out and sign Jonathan David from Genk. Although he is a risk, I'll admit, but when you look at his record, he's certainly got a better rate than Joe Linton. And then also we should rate the free agent markets, because you got like Pedro, etc., etc., and even try and do some swap deals with the relegated clubs like Joshua Kingford, Dwight Gale, etc., etc. And basically, yeah, that's the season wrapped up. So until next week, when hopefully we'll get some news on anything, I'll be able to report back. So until then, see you all later.
All right. As always, I want to thank Andrew for that. It was nice because he wrapped up the matches, but he also gave us his kind of like end of year thoughts, and I thought he really kind of nailed it. We were
overachieved.
We were joking around, after we recorded, just catching up a little bit, talking about like the funniest moments and the different things from the season. He's really partial to when Matt Ritchie kicked that corner flag and it flew into the stands and bollocked that guy.
That says it all.
Yeah, he thought that one was pretty good. My like biggest laugh of the season with Newcastle, because I don't know why, but like I like messing with you about hating Liverpool or whatever, but the team because Sunderland's gone, the team that really gets my goat that I can't stand in the Premier League is fucking Everton. They're just such whiny bitches, and they have the dinosaur arm Pickford, who's a Southampton bastard.
Yeah.
But so my funniest moment of the season for me was when we're down 2-0, like in stoppage time. We've been outplayed the entire match. It was probably our worst match of football the entire season. We couldn't string 2 passes together. We couldn't do anything. And our central defender, Fernandez, gets a bicycle kick and a scrappy, like, bounce around, like, FIFA goal to get a point out of it at the end. And it was a crime against humanity. Like, you should have had, like, the United Nations or somebody there in the blue helmets to, like, cart us off to jail after that. It was an atrocity. But I just loved it. It made me laugh so hard because I really should have turned the match off. I thought I was going to turn it off and walk away, but I'm just stubborn like that. I have to see it to the bitter end. And I'm just dying laughing. I remember my wife came downstairs and was like, I want to say it was a weekday game too. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm just like in tears, like you would not believe that what just happened. It was just complete shithousery and nonsense, and I loved it.
So I don't have any memories like that because Liverpool didn't lose many games. But I want to go over some of the finer points of the two Rash Challenges derby match here. First of all, you and I get together on Sunday via Zoom. You've got like 18 TVs up in your room, in your living room. I'm a mess with my technology. I got a computer's not working. I can't get on the right app. You have all the games up. It was so ridiculous. The Liverpool-Newcastle game, I couldn't get to work. I had to watch on Zoom while you projected it onto Zoom from your TV.
Yeah.
It was like 1950s USSR television. You know,
and for any licensing issues out there, we both subscribe to the NBC Sports app and Peacock app. So
yes.
don't add us on this thing.
No, in case they wanted to sponsor us. Yeah. So, Eric's talking his regular trash. We're watching the Chelsea game with Pulisic and Manchester United, Leicester. And, it's exciting. Got West Ham, Aston Villa, all the promotion, the relegation stuff, the Champions League spots. So Dwight Gale, as Wellesley said, scores the fastest goal in Premier League history for Newcastle. Do I have that right? No Fudo? Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
That is correct.
I have to admit, seeing all the B squad players that Liverpool had, like Origi and Knox and Minamino and Williams and Milner, I was like, you know what? You might win this game. And I got really depressed and really upset. I almost didn't want to Zoom with you anymore. But then, the best defender in the world scores a beautiful header, looping it over your best player, right? Yep. Your keeper. Yep. You felt like he was at fault. It didn't sound like Wellesley felt like it was fault.
Nobody else thinks he was at fault. All I'm saying
it's too hard, man.
No, look, you have to anticipate. When you see the guy going for the header, you have to jump because you're thinking it's going to come flat.
Looping. I mean, Van Dijk came off his coconut.
He just jumped too early. If he wouldn't have jumped so early, he would have saved it. But you know what? I mean, he is our best player.
Well, once that goal went in, you both you wanted to get to halftime at 1-1, but it was no good. We won 3-1. Origi and Mane score. So that's kind of that was fun. If I would have lost to you, that really would have killed a lot of the end of the season for me. It really would have. But now I look at it. Tied in history for most Premier League wins this season with City, 32. 99 points. That's a shitload of points. Almost not the record. Yeah, 100. We were off by 1. But it's 2 points better than last year. We win the Premier League title. I feel good, man. I feel good. And I should feel good.
All right, look, bonus ask you anything here because I had this in my notes to ask you. I have a grade for Liverpool for the season.
A grade? You know what? I know what you're going to give him, a B+.
How'd you know?
How did
you know?
Because I've known you forever, Eric.
Have you hacked my notes? Are you in my computer?
You're not so. Your lens is all scratched.
Okay, no. So go ahead. You give me your letter grade.
I'll give you all my reasons and my letter grade. But I know what you're going to say. You're going to say down season for the Premier League. Blah, blah, blah. City's down. They didn't have their defenders.
I won't even bring that into it. I'm going to go purely off of
it's an A. It's a straight A. I won't give it an A+ because they didn't get a lot of the records. But that, and under really, you always say they're bad in circumstances here. They had a lot to deal with to win this thing. And they won it by 18 points. It's a straight, solid A. Trending towards an A+. Trending.
Okay. So, all right. So here's my knocks for it. You can't go A+.
Well, what was last year? If we were at B+, what were we last year? I bet you could give us an A last year. Right? No?
A-. I'll go A- last year. All right. So here's my logic on this.
Okay.
I'm not taking into consideration anything else that anyone else did. This is purely based off of Liverpool.
Okay.
All right. We're on track to win everything, every competition, and set every record, and without a doubt, if you guys would have won the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League, and set the points record, and had the biggest you would have to say the greatest team in the history of football. And everyone was saying up to January That's what they were saying. This is the greatest team in the history of football. So you were on this trajectory to win every last thing and set every last record. And then it started crumbling. You had the Watford thing, so you lost the Invincibles. You played the kids in the Carabao and got booted out of the Carabao Cup. You didn't put out your best effort in the FA Cup and went out of the FA Cup. Champions League, you went and lost 1-0 at Atleti, talked a bunch of shit, like, oh, got to go back to Anfield. Went back to Anfield, lost to Atleti again. So, like, it kept chipping down, and then you, like, could have set the points record, still lost it at the end. So, to me, that's why it goes from you've got one trophy.
It goes from an A+ to a B+ for you.
Yeah. So that's
I'm surprised actually you didn't give it a B-. All that negativity.
No, look. They won the title. They won it by insane, massive gap. You can't take that away. But they put everything into doing that, which is why they went out of. I don't know about the Champions League. I think they just got punched in the mouth in the Champions League. But if you talk,
they won it last year. Don't forget, they won it last year.
If you talk about the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, I don't think they cared. They weren't trying to win that. They said, look, Klopp was like, I'm taking 0 chances. I'm not losing the league by 1 point again. We are putting every last thing into this. And so by doing that, the other stuff, it suffered a little bit. So, I mean, that's all.
All right.
I think that's fair. That's not beating up on them.
No, that's not fair. Not at all. Can I give you my argument, then we'll move on? Okay. It's like Leicester. Nobody expected them to do anything at the beginning of the year, right? Maybe mid-table, who knows? They go out to a huge lead. They're in 3rd place most of the season. They were even challenging for the title, seriously, in December, right? And then they've had this humongous collapse. So you're going to give them, probably a really poor grade. But if you look at it overall, the expectations of where they were expected to be till the end, 5th place, that is an amazing season. So for Liverpool, people weren't sure if they were going to break the 30-year curse and win this thing. They thought they'd be most people pick 2nd place. So they get to this huge lead, 25-point lead. It gets chipped away. They forget about the other cups because they need to just focus on this. And at the end of the day, it's 99 points. And if you would have asked for that at the beginning of the season, 99 points and a Premier League title and nothing else, you would have signed up for a minute. And they've hit beyond their expectations, so that's why they get an A. Let's move on.
All right.
And I was going to have a debate about something else, but I don't think I can do back-to-back debates with you. So I'm actually going to save this debate, a little teaser, something about Jordan Henderson for my Ask You Anything question.
Yeah, okay.
You're pissing me off. All right. By the way, it doesn't look like Liverpool are going to make many signings this summer. You've also brought that up a lot. But big move. McLovrin goes to Zenit St. Petersburg for $11 million. He's gone. Bye-bye. McLovrin. He's gone.
Hey, Lallana to Brighton as well.
That's fine. We don't need them.
Adios.
But we might be getting this 20-year-old center back from Schalke, who's pretty good. So we'll see about that. Only $30 million. We can do that. We can't afford 50 for Werner, but 30 we could do.
For some 20-year-old center back from the Bundesliga.
He's better than what we have. I mean, Gomez is struggling. Okay.
Here's the problem. We talked about this, you and I, a little bit. And if you don't strengthen, you like the really the best you can hope is to do this good again, right? To repeat as Premier League champions.
Right.
Because if you really want to be in that best team,
back to back,
the Premier League, you got to win back to back, right?
Okay.
City
I'll buy that.
Back to back. I'm sure Manchester United has won back to back.
Let me ask you a question though. We lose next year, but win the following year. That's ridiculous amount of 2nd or 1st place, above 95 points every season, and you have 2 championships out of 3 years. With that would be
I think you could be in the conversation at that point.
Okay. All right. Back to back's hard.
I don't think it guarantees anything, but if you keep the same exact team that you have,
nobody else, we don't get anybody else.
No-namers or whatever. Really, you're not thinking about taking a step forward where we're going to win the treble or we're going to win back to back or we're going to do these things. You're saying we're going to try and maintain this level that we're at, and that's if no one gets injured. You got really lucky when Allison was out that the backup came in and played
Adrian,
out of his mind. He never in his career.
Not lucky. We were smart to keep a good 2nd string keeper.
He was a decent keeper. He played way above his level.
Sure.
For that whole time to keep that streak.
That's why he's a backup. Yeah.
Yeah. So But I mean, if you don't strengthen, you're not going to get better. You're not going to push like further to now we're one of the top teams in the world where we're going to win the Champions League. We're going to win the Premier League. We're going to do all that. So it really is, you're playing a dangerous game. The best case scenario is you maintain. The worst case scenario is something goes wrong and now you got problems. Really, if your owners were smart, they'd bring in Koulibaly and sign maybe one more player for the midfield or maybe the attack in case you have one of the front three go down. And then at that point, you're like, oh, okay. Like, so you could bring in Koulibaly, Grealish, and maybe another striker, Celerigi or something to get another striker.
I'll take it.
That to me, though, is strengthening. That's saying I'm going after Bayern. I'm going after Real Madrid. I'm going after Barca. Like, we're trying to be at that level. Your owners are like.
What are you talking about at that level? We won the Champions League last year. We won the title this year. Bayern Munich wins every year in the Bundesliga because it's a crap league. They haven't. When's the last time they won the Champions League? Don't even compare Bayern Munich to Liverpool.
No. This season is when they're going to win the Champions League.
No. And Real Madrid, fine. I'll put them above Liverpool. They've won 3 million Champions Leagues lately with Zinedine Zidane. But do not forget Bayern Munich. Forget them. And Barcelona are down.
Barcelona are down. I'll give you that. I'm just saying, traditionally,
Manchester United traditionally won the Premier League. They haven't won it in a while. They're not going to win it in a while.
Okay.
So traditionally I was good looking. Now I'm not. Okay.
Are you going to strengthen, or are you just going to ride your luck? If you ride your luck, I'm just saying it's not a statement of intent like what you're trying to do. It's just saying
we don't need to make a statement. We're not about statements. We're about trophies now.
Oh, okay. This is going to bite you. Look,
my Ask Me Anything question was going to be more about Newcastle. Since you're all talking about improving your teams, I think we should have one. I want to hear your wrap-up of Newcastle and moving forward. I don't want to hear about this past season. Who cares? You've got 44 points with fat Steve Bruce. Cabbage Patch. What are you going to do about these new owners? I mean, Wellesley doesn't even talk about it.
No.
How are you going to make transfers? How are you going to freshen this squad? How are you going to even add B players, Ashley players? Ashley's not going to buy much if he's still around.
No, Ashley has come out and said, if I'm here and I'm staying, and we've got like all of his businesses, because most of his stuff that he makes money off of is in retail. And as you know from the
smart move.
Retail's taking a beating. So he said, if he stays, the transfer kitty is $30 million plus whatever we get for outgoing.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
So
you get 3/4 of a Joelinton.
No, so what I would try and do is I would try and get Wilson from or King
Bournemouth.
from Bournemouth,
right?
Or look at like Ake from Bournemouth, or like I would raid Norwich for their right back, and like there's places you could go for value that you could get 1 or 2 players in,
right?
And someone was saying, that's not really that bad, or for what we could do to improve the team. My concern is not the transfer money. If you brought in a real manager, a decent, good tactical manager, you can keep the players we have and not do any worse than we did this year. My concern is no matter who we bring in, that we got Steve Bruce at the wheel. So that's the real issue for me. Wellesley said it best, where we were sure we were going to be in a relegation scrap, and he said, I think that if the pandemic break didn't come, because we had all those injuries, man, like half our team was injured, we probably would have been in a relegation.
If you dropped 9 points or something.
We were plummeting down the table. The break came at the right time. We all got healthy, and we caught some people napping when the league kicked off again. So really, my thoughts of the whole season, my grade of the whole season was like the result is not that bad, but what it took to get there. I went to the dentist this morning, got 4 fillings, and I imagine it's what it's like when you go to Guantanamo Bay. Like they put the thing over your head and then you're getting waterboarded, and you're like, I'm laying there paying people to torture me. And that's what it felt like watching Newcastle all season long. So if we keep the cabbage and invest 30, 40, 50 million pounds, whatever we get, I could see us starting off bad and just keeping it rolling, and this time next year crying in my Cheerios because we're going back to the championship. So I don't know, man. The takeover is preposterous. It's 17 weeks in. They just need to deny it.
I think you called it. You said you put no value into it at all, ever.
No,
You never did. You're consistent.
And the thing is, the Premier League can just say no. But I really think, I said this last week, I think the problem is they don't want to damage any sort of long-term relationship. They don't want to cause any geopolitical nightmare for the country. They don't want to do anything. So they just be quiet and wait and hope that the Saudis get bored and then just pull out of the deal themselves. Because then they never have to make a decision and you can't hang anything on them.
So they're going to tire them out. Hopefully they'll go away.
It's the only explanation for it taking this long. There is no other reason that it would go on like that.
You know, it's as you bash Liverpool and you get so much enjoyment and there's a lot of fuel there. Like, I feel like you have to reach a little bit sometimes. With Newcastle, I really have you bash them more than I do.
Of course.
So it's not a lot of fun. Okay, let's move on. Let's just round up the EPL from the weekend. We were watching those games. Manchester United win. Chelsea win. A little drama in that West Ham Villa game. It was 1-1.
Yeah.
If West Ham would have gotten that second goal, Villa would have gone down. Bournemouth won. So it's kind of exciting. It's definitely one of those good, exciting decision days.
It was the most fun last day I can remember in a long time.
Yeah, let's look at this. So let's look at the standings. I mean, Liverpool had 99 points. City 81. So forget about Liverpool in 99. That's a big drop-off from 90, what they had last year, 98 to 81. That's 17 points. That's a lot. Manchester United.
Like 7 games or something. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So United, you called it, Eric Neal. You had your top four, Liverpool. Well, I don't think you had Liverpool. I think you had City, Liverpool, and Manchester and Chelsea. Yep. Your top four. So you got them right. I think I had Leicester staying in there. I never thought Manchester United would recover. I don't know if Ole's still the guy, though. I think Bruno Fernandes.
It was a combination of Leicester tanking and Manchester going on an insane run at the same exact time. Because I think at one point it was a 17-point lead that Leicester had on the team below them.
Right.
And so think about what it takes to drop that many points and have the other team make up that many points in that amount of time. I mean, and I was listening to, I think it was Grumpy Pundits or someone this morning. Shout out Sirius XMFC 157. They were saying that it seems like Leicester shit the bed and completely fell apart. But then they started naming off all of these things that happened. And
they lost Madison.
Yeah,
they lost a lot of players.
Yeah, so really, they're not like Liverpool or City where you've got 2 or 3 guys at each position that you can go to if stuff goes sideways. They've got a really good starting 11, and then there's a big drop-off after that. So they had that, and then their center back, Soyuncu, was banned for red card the last 3 matches of the season. So that didn't help either. So it was
No, they were thin.
It was them shitting the bed, but they're also thin. And
they relied on Vardy like way too much. He won the Golden Boot, which is amazing. I still say he's one of the best Premier League strikers ever.
33 years old, winning Golden Boot.
Winning the Golden Boot, pretty amazing. So, kudos to him. But they rely on him too much. Spurs at 59 points. Take off your Jose hat for a minute. I don't know if that's better. Yeah, I know that's a better position than with Poch. But, boy, they don't feel much better to me. They don't feel much better.
Okay, well, look, they don't feel better than peak Poch when they were in the Champions League and they were competing for stuff. But they feel a lot better than Poch at the end when it was all going fucking
that was
sideways.
bad. Kane started scoring goals at the end, and Son is – I think Son is like a world-class player. He's so good.
Look,
nice pieces.
I'm telling you, if they give Jose some money this summer – they will win a trophy next year. I don't know if it's the Carabao Cup. I don't know if it's the Europa League, but they will win a trophy.
But didn't Mourinho get fired after winning like the Europa Cup or something? He won something.
With like the FA Cup with Manchester United.
Was it? Yeah, then I think he got fired. I don't know, man. I don't see him staying more than a year or two, maybe, possibly.
No, I agree. But if they give him some money, he will win a trophy next season.
Well, Spurs aren't known for, ponying up the money. Real quick, I'm probably going to butcher this to get a Fudo, but Do you know Manchester United at 66 points? They're closer to Bournemouth than to Liverpool. They're in third place at 66 points. Bournemouth are what, at 34? So that's 32 points or something. And Liverpool are 33 points away. My math's all screwed up, but you get the point. They're closer to the bottom to getting relegated than winning the championship.
Well, look, again, in my Liverpool rundown, I did not say anything about the league or whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to admit,
no, it's a weekly. It's a weekly.
This season, the quality of the teams below Liverpool, and I'm putting City in with this group, was not there. I mean, there was no consistency. You would have a team like Chelsea who looked like world beaters, like they could beat anybody one week, and then when they go and get like destroyed the next week. Mm-hmm. Manchester United was a shambles in the beginning of the year, turned it around once they got Bruno Fernandes and Pogba came back. But still, I mean, some of the stuff you've seen out of that was shocking.
You know, Pogba was having a great run of form. And then did you see when he got the penalty, when he put his arms up? The ball was coming at him. He puts his arms up to protect himself. People are really hard on him for that. I mean,
what are you going to do?
I mean, no, people are like, you got to be courageous and strong. And I was like, I don't know, man. That hurts. When you get a ball flush in your face.
Yeah.
What was he supposed to do? They were saying his lack of concentration. I was like, I don't.
Look, it's self-preservation. You know me. I've been really hard on Pogba forever. But someone loads up the cannon and starts firing at you. You don't just bravely stand there and take it in the face. Get out of here.
I don't know. I didn't get that either. So I would say Sheffield United kind of slipped a little bit, but ninth place, really good for them. Yeah. Really good for them.
I mean, they have a bunch of League One level players on their team. It's not just like championship level. I mean, they overachieved big time.
I would say Burnley as well at 10th. And then I would say Southampton. I didn't expect much out of Marcus's team. And 11th place, I would say solid.
No, after they lost 9-0 early in the season, for him to be able to get that team back and put in the performances that they did, I mean, that is an incredible.
I would say one of the biggest disappointments of the year, it's actually Everton at 12th. Everybody expected them with the money they spent and some of the talent they got. They would be challenging for the top 6, maybe, top 8. But, you know, they finished at 12th with 49 points. Pretty disappointing. And you have Ancelotti, like an incredible coach.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing. And then you got Newcastle at 13th. And we've already discussed them. But it's just another mediocre season for you guys. Not even – it's just bland. It's
like I said, the fact that I wasn't sweating relegation –
right.
And I could just sit and not be, worried the last 3-4 matches.
But you're clumped in with like Crystal Palace, Brighton, West Ham. Like they're all around you. They're all around.
We've been clumped in with them. When Rafa was there, we were clumped in with them. I mean, when's
it going to change, man? When you go into every season, I just want to hear what what you feel like in your heart. Is it like I think you had 16 losses. It's either 16 or 18.
Yeah, I think we were 11, and 16.
16. I mean, that's a lot of losses you have to endure. And it just seems, look, I picked a club, and I can't help it. I picked a club 20-odd years ago that was already successful for different reasons. You picked a club that spoke to you for different reasons. Neither one of us are from England. Yeah. But you haven't seen much, man. How do you get up every year for 13th to 17th to possibly getting relegated? Like, what does it feel like?
It really is. It's a connection at this point to the supporters. I mean, interacting so much on Twitter with everybody. But it's that connection and that feeling of like the us against the world. Like I think I've talked about this before.
Us against the world. You never beat the world though. Like,
no, but when I was a kid, in American football, like the Seattle Seahawks, like in recent history, have been very good. When I was a kid, they were
horrible
franchise, and they were horrible. They never won anything. People would come with paper bags on their heads to watch the games. It was like they were a sham. And my dad liked the Raiders, who were like royalty, NFL, royalty. And
AFC West rivals,
and that was a big, rivalry. And so I was just like, I dug in and I stayed with it. And there's something to be said about like standing in there in the face of adversity and sticking with your team.
And then it turns around. Well, when is it going to turn around?
No, I don't know that it ever turns around. Now look, going back to the Seahawks thing, they actually won the Super Bowl. And I remember I was at your house watching it.
Oh, I know.
in tears thinking, I never thought I would grow old enough to see this happen. Yeah. So there always is that sort of hope.
And your dad was not allowed to see it. So
no, he
it's
was
good
not.
for him. Good for him.
Look, I hope he's spinning around in his urn right now at the thought of it, because it would drive him nuts. But no, really, with Newcastle, you get the connection to the players. Like that's a real thing as well. I mean, you look at Almiron. What other team would sign their club record signing
from MLS
and have him go an actual year without scoring a goal and stick with the guy and then have that unbridled joy? Second to Landon Donovan's goal in the World Cup to win the group and not
against Algeria. Yeah.
World Cup. Second to that is watching that Almiron score his first goal at St. James's Park, and just all of the emotions flood out. The roar of the crowd, him coming over and hugging that little kid supporter. I mean, just it's moments like that get you through it.
It was Almiron was kind of like he didn't know how to read till like he got to 9th grade. And then he finally learned to read, and you're the proud father. Like, hey, he can read in 9th grade. All right. He scored a goal.
No, but how many other teams that would have stuck with that guy and supported him on?
You didn't have a choice.
No, we do have a choice, because right
you
now.
You put Joelinton in more.
Look, there are some diehard Joelinton supporters out there, but overall, people are like, look, I don't want to load him on a rocket and like send it to the sun. It's not like that level. But I wish he would go somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, shocking. I'm trying to think of people that I've even played with in rec league that have a worse first touch than Joelinton. I've never seen. I want to pass.
I would take Zardes over him. I think he'd play better for Newcastle than Joelinton.
Are you kidding me? Of course, I would too. I'm telling you, Joelinton. Come on, man. Come on.
Anybody gonna take him? You're sticking with him. You got no choice, right?
No one will buy him. I would honestly just give him away. I would eat the $40 million. There's got to be a tax write-off or something you can get for it, and just be like, look, no hard feelings. You seem like a nice guy. You know, it seems like you're kind of trying or something. Being swept in. I don't know, but
so some quick final notes, and then we'll move on to MLS for the season. First of all, Chelsea and Lampard decide not to play Kepa in the most important game of their year. That guy's done.
Good choice.
That guy's done, yeah, because he's making something like $20 million a year. He's making an astronomical amount of money. Nobody's going to take him, and he's going to be the second-string keeper next year. I don't know. They're going to get somebody else.
They're trying to. The deal they're trying to.
Not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. But they want to give him to Athletic for Oblak. And
why would they do that?
But they also want like a shipping container full of money to go with it. So it's not.
I was going to say it's Kepa and what, like stadium rights?
No, I think I want to say they wanted like 90 million or something like that for Oblak, and they're like, look, how about Kepa plus 50? And they're like, how about Kepa plus 90? And like they're just like.
I think Kepa plus 90 is right.
No, but imagine this. Say they get they get Kai Havertz, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the next guy on their list, which they don't need more like
attackers,
like that, right? But say they get him, but then they also got Oblak and Koulibaly.
Oof.
All of a sudden,
Koulibaly and a good keeper would make them very dangerous.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, you look at your spine, right? You've got Oblak, Koulibaly, Conte. Like the middle of your team is as good as anybody else has in the Premier League.
And then attacking, they're loaded.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, the firepower, they're gonna score 3 to 5 goals a match every match. The problem is they're going to give up 3 to 5 goals.
Well, it's like Liverpool getting Van Dijk. They were giving up tons of goals. They get Van Dijk and Alisson. I mean, people are gonna copy that template now.
Right, and that freed up that the rest of your players just got a million times better when that happened, because you didn't have to do your job and a little bit of somebody else's.
No, deficiencies with like Alexander-Arnold on defense, it helped him out. It helped out Robertson. No, I agree.
No, and there's nothing. That's not a crack by any means. That's just saying when you have something that strong up the spine, man. Come on.
One other guy, they were talking about David Silva. Looks like he's leaving the Premier League. That guy was one of the best Premier League players ever. Right?
I wonder where he's going to go. You know, it's funny because these
MLS.
They always get linked with MLS, but then they always end up going like to
Middle
China
East
or Qatar.
Yeah, they go to the Middle East.
No, because all of a sudden they're like, look, I know you were making like, $300,000 a week when you were in England. How about I give you $500,000 a week?
No, how can you turn? But you're playing in Qatar or something. It's like.
Look, if you go to MLS and you get $10 million a year, you're like setting records. And
I know.
That's like a pay cut for what they're getting.
But
now.
he's good. He's still a great player.
Are you kidding me? He could still play at City. I think.
I know.
They're moving him on is just to bring up the kid.
All right. Well, look, Premier League's over. We're going to focus a little more on MLS lately. Probably
wait, just a
you got more.
Though. We've got one last thing of Premier League.
Oh, okay.
Coming up on Saturday.
Oh, the FA Cup. That's right.
Yep. For the FA Cup, we've got Chelsea versus Arsenal. Christian Pulisic will probably get 20 minutes off the bench in a cameo from fucking Lampard.
If he doesn't start, he's really dead to me, Frank. Really dead.
Look, he's dead to me anyway.
Yeah.
There's something going on there with the relationship that I don't know what it is, but I don't like it because
something's off, right?
Something's off.
Because what is Frank going to say after Pulisic scores a goal, assist, dominate? He's going to be like, hey, he's a great player. But something's going on.
Pulisic came out on Twitter and said, hey, it wasn't really my day, but the boys came through. Great job getting to the Champions League. He played okay in that game. Everyone else looked really shaky.
Yeah. Did Frank criticize him at all? No.
As well as him? I'm just saying, I don't think so. But he was criticizing himself, which I kind of like to see.
Me too.
I want that hunger and that desire. He should be starting this match, but someone asked the Grumpy Pundits again, shout out SiriusXM FC 157. They asked them, has an American ever won a trophy in England? I don't know. I don't think so. And you're trying to think about it, they were saying maybe John Harkes won a trophy.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lower trophy. Yeah. So maybe in the championship or something?
You've got you got the league title, you've got the FA Cup, and whatever the league cup is called.
Yeah. There was the Carling Cup, Caribou, whatever the hell it was.
So I'm wondering, I can't think of anybody, but wouldn't it be great to see Pulisic put in a man of the match performance, get the game winner, and lift the FA Cup? To me, that is a step for American football that we need so desperately.
But he needs to be on the field for the final. He has to be on the field. I
can't imagine Frank doesn't start him.
Well, he at least comes off the bench, but how do you not start him?
I think they were claiming he was nursing some sort of injury, but to me, if he's been my best player since the restart and I have to win this match to get in the Champions League, I'm putting him in. I don't care if you're hurt. You can be hurt later.
Well, we know Mason Mount will start. We know that. He loves him.
So, what's your prediction, though?
I think Chelsea's going to pull it out. I say 3-1. 3-1 over Arsenal. I think Arsenal are going to go back to Mustafi and David Lewis, and just shit themselves. I think, Aubameyang will score one goal, but Chelsea will win 3-1.
I'm going 3-3 Chelsea on pens.
Really?
With the winning pen.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Who starts in goal? Not Kepa, right?
No, Caballero for sure.
All right, man.
All right, that's all I had.
We can talk about that.
Gloss over because we get that one little nugget. Normally, I wouldn't give a shit about the FA Cup final.
No, I'm into it. Pulisic, yeah, I'm into it. So we got this MLS is back cup going on. It's the kind of World Cup style tournament we've talked about.
Yep.
The round of 16 has already started. Actually, last week the Crew beat Atlanta United, a horrible team, by the way.
Yep.
They're perfect in the group stage. 3 games, 3 wins. They give up. They score 7 goals, 0 against.
Yep.
They looked solid.
Oh,
and you know what? Our starting keeper Eli Room is he's out, and they had the backup in, and he looked fine.
And our starting center back is out too. And
we're fine. That shows our depth now.
Yeah.
So we reached the round of 16, and we're going to play FC Minnesota. Is it Minnesota FC or FC Minnesota? I never know.
I think it's Minnesota FC. I've got a stat for you here.
The Loons.
Columbus Crew put out a tweet.
Yeah.
And it said, welcome to Darlington Nagby's School of Passing. So do you want to hear Nagby's stats?
Last game, he was 100%, wasn't he?
Okay, so for the 3 games of the tournament.
Yeah.
Passing accuracy, 95.56%.
Yeah.
Passing accuracy in the opponent's half.
That's important.
95.3%.
Right.
Pass completion through the group stage, 157 out of 160.
What?
Get out of here.
I don't care even if you have 5-yard passes, which he doesn't. He has
No, but look, he breaks up the play, and then they high pressed him. Do you remember New York tried to high press them, and he just like broke it down.
No, these are, and that's the big stat. They show these passing stats, but it's just people passing it back and forth. His is in the opponent's half. It's like really.
Oh, no. I mean, 157 out of 160?
But isn't that cool how one player can change a game with that is 11 players on the field?
Oh, yeah.
Like a Van Dijk, totally transformed Liverpool. Allison, I mean, I know it's 2 players, but Nagby has transformed that team. And Zelleryan is good.
Zelleryan, Nagby, and then Zardes, like becoming the best version of Zardes in his career all at the same time.
Zardes, we've killed him for U.S. national team and for the crew with his first touch. They're talking about it like, look, he'll have an occasional bad touch still. It's gotten so much better. It's better.
And if you look at his U.S. national team performances over the last year, I think he's starting to turn it around during the national team as well.
Look, he might be our starting forward. It's kind of bizarre. I don't know.
Look, Altidore, I think because of the experience.
Yeah.
And like
he's always injured.
Come through, but he's always injured.
Yeah.
So I could see it. I think Sargent is the future. But Zardes right now, I think he's ahead of him.
Yeah, I agree. So Minnesota, the Loons, as they're known. You like that name, the Loons? Loons? Got a bird?
It's
a water bird.
Funny because I always think of crazy people, right?
Yeah, you're a loon. You're a loon. Yeah.
Right, but it's the bird. Yeah, I don't know.
So they'll play Minnesota on Tuesday. I'm excited about that. They'll play the winner of Seattle LAFC. Both good teams.
Tonight.
Yeah. So let's see what happens there. Right.
Hey,
okay.
Seattle LAFC is going to be an epic match.
But you know what time it's on? 11 o'clock at night.
Right. I was going to say, it's a shame I won't see it because I'll be fucking asleep because it's 11
What happened
o'clock.
to 10:30? What happened to 10:30 at least?
10:30, I could justify starting it and, like, seeing if I could stay awake. 11 o'clock? I mean, what's it going to be over at 2? I mean, come on, man.
If there's a rain delay. Okay, so the surprises for me in this tournament so far. So the Crew beat FC Cincinnati, our rivals, 4-0, right? I mean, I'm sorry, Crew beat, FC Cincinnati. Then they go on to win 2 games. They come in second place in that group. They're my sleeper. They're fun to watch. Who cares? Orlando FC won their round of 16 game. They're in the final 8. Not bad.
Yeah.
They have home field advantage in Orlando with no fans. That's not bad. Are you excited, Eric Neal? Are you? As long as the Crew is in this thing, you're into it, right?
Look, I will watch this tournament as long as the Crew's in it.
Yeah.
I don't imagine watching even one more minute of it, especially on ESPN FC. So here's the one.
Wait, don't get to that yet. Don't get to that yet.
All right, but you
I got something
3
for you.
providers, and one of the 3 makes it enjoyable. I don't know about the other one because I haven't watched any on there yet, but ESPN, well, I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, please do. I listened to the show. My biggest Fudo.
I have one more quick one, just a general funny thing that I saw that made me laugh really, really hard.
Okay.
Did you see that Birmingham is retiring club legend Jude Bellingham's number 22 jersey?
No, I did not see that. No.
No, it's quite beautiful, actually. It's your kind of story, you know what I mean? Like, retiring guy, club legend, all that and everything. Just for clarity on this, Bellingham is 17 years old.
What happened to him?
Made 44 appearances for Birmingham and spent 1 whole season in the number 22 shirt.
What?
Okay? Now, this is there's no question this is one of the most bizarre things a football club has ever done, including the signing of Bebe. I saw that from
Bebe, the homeless guy.
Someone wrote that down, and I just thought it was funny, so I put it in there. Sturbridge FC, they must be some sort of like lower tier team. I've never heard of them before. But
not Sturgis.
They said Sturbridge will retire the number 22 shirt following Birmingham City's decision to retire Jude Bellingham's shirt. This is due to the fact that we play non-league and we think shirt numbers over 20 are pretty ridiculous because that's all the players they have. So he got bought. The 17-year-old kid got bought by Borussia Dortmund. And for some reason, this guy that's been around for 5 minutes was such a legend, they decided to retire.
I thought maybe he got like a massive injury in his whole football career is over.
They really like the guy. What?
Where is Birmingham? Are they in like League One or Championship? Where are they now? I don't even know.
I don't even know either.
Yeah, well, we'll fact check that.
Funny
Let me
though.
get to my one Fudo, okay?
What do you do, though?
So I was very adamant about American players on Fulham, like the
Yeah, yeah,
history.
yeah.
We were
Oh,
naming
yeah, yeah,
McBride and Bocanegra. And I did get, what's his name? That Halleman guy. Oh, God, I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, the goalie, all these players I had right, except I said Edson Buttle
Yeah.
played for Fulham. And I knew I was like, that doesn't sound right, but I think it's right. So Edson Buttle was a player who played in MLS. He had a cup of coffee in Europe. He was decent. He played with the Crew for a little while.
Yeah.
But I seem to have it wrong. It's Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson, who played for Fulham. He played in the MLS. I think he played in the Turkish league. So he had some time in Europe. And I have no idea how I got Edson Buttle and Eddie Johnson mixed up. But I did, and sorry, Eddie, and sorry to your mother as well.
Beautiful.
All right, Eric, it's time to get off my lawn. You mentioned in the last segment, I think you were alluding to the coverage of this MLS tournament by ESPN, Fox, and who else is doing it? I don't know. Anybody else doing this dumb thing? Okay, I've only seen ESPN and Fox.
Same.
When I first see Fox put it on these games, there's no fans. It's in Orlando. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. They got the crowd noise. And actually, I think they do it as well as the EPL because the sound is beautifully synced up. Like the ball goes over the crossbar. The fans really go, oh, or they have it down. Like somebody's really doing a good job, right? So you figure, all right, everybody should do this. EPL's
they
doing
hired
it.
a guy, real quick. The Fox hired this guy that does sound at the Hollywood Bowl. It's like this famous music venue in Los Angeles.
Right.
And they hired him and his team to come in and do the crowd noise for it so it felt like as realistic as possible. So they actually did put some real thought into it.
They did? Okay. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, when a goal is scored, when the right team does something, the crowd, chants that club's song a little bit. It's just really good. And the EPL did it well. Bundesliga did it well. There's some issues. But they got it right. ESPN, on the other hand, these knuckleheads, if you watch the game, first of all, they started out with having all the coaches mic'd up, really sensitive mics on the field so you could hear the players, hear the coaches. The problem was everybody's cursing, like ridiculously. And they couldn't just – first of all, ESPN is owned by Disney. You can't have all this cursing on a Disney channel. So they decide, hey, let's not put the crowd noise in, which is what Fox is doing. That'd be really good. They just kind of mute the coaches when they can. And they just keep the natural sound so you can hear the ball pinging off the player's foot. It sounds like a morgue. It sounds like a mortuary. It's terrible.
The atmosphere is just dead.
It's like college game. Some of the college games here in the States have like 12 people in the stands, and that's kind of it. You have the cameraman, a couple people chasing balls around.
It's like rec league. You got 9 guys all shouting for you to pass them the ball when you get the ball.
Spanish.
Hey.
And if you want to hear people talking Spanish like Brad Guzan, I'm like, hey, Brad Guzan can speak Spanish. That's cool. Anyway, it's horrendous, and I want ESPN to get off my lawn. They're supposed to be the worldwide leader in sports. They're not in this case.
Nah, terrible. I couldn't agree more. That's an actual great Gomel. My Gomel this week goes to the Football Writers Association. These fools decided to give their Footballer of the Year award to Jordan Henderson. For what? How can you possibly justify this? I collected some tweets that kind of sum up how I've been feeling. So Dan Millington, he's at DM126KG, said, so Henderson has one man of the match this season, and now he is Footballer of the Year. He is not even Liverpool's best player, let alone the league. Talk about make the award a mockery. The Prestwich Marauder, he's at Marauder_JFC. Football is dead. I get the clamor to give Liverpool everything to appease the masses, but this is just embarrassing. The lad genuinely wouldn't make Man City's bench. Pogba Senior at the Salt is here. We love Pogba Senior. People that actually make a full-time living from writing and giving their opinions about football have decided that Jordan Henderson has had a better individual season than Kevin De Bruyne. Laugh my ass off. So that really does a good job of kind of summing up my feelings and my thoughts for, how all this was going. And I wanted to also say, let's look at the list of recent winners, in the modern era here. We'll go back to the 2000 season here. You had Teddy Sheringham, Manchester United legend, Robert Pires, Arsenal, Thierry Henry, 3 out of 4 years and 2 in a row, Frank Lampard, Cristiano Ronaldo back-to-back, Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, Scott Parker, Robin Van Persie.
Wait a minute. Scott Parker. I think you could put Scott Parker and Jordan Henderson in the same vein.
I think you're absolutely right. Robin Van Persie, Gareth Bale, Luis Suarez, Eden Hazard, Jamie Vardy, N'Golo Kante, Mohamed Salah, Raheem Sterling, and Jordan friggin' Henderson. So think about that. Just let that stew around a little bit and ask yourself, since when does trying hard make you the best footballer in the Premier League? I get he made the team tick and he was the captain. It's just such a sweet story. Some chumps were telling me that it has more to do with your off-the-field things as well, that it's a combination of off-field and on-field, in which case Rashford should have been the player of the year then, if we're going off of that, because he got them to feed like millions of children in the UK and solving hunger. So anyway, no, Jordan Ash is nowhere close to that level of that other group, save Scott Parker. But anyway, so for giving Liverpool a reach around, and she won't shag you, by the way, Football Writers Association, get off my lawn. Seriously, though, get off. You've had an absolute mare on this one.
All right, Eric Neal, I'm going to ask you something. We did cross swords. I was going to talk about Jordan Henderson winning the Football Writers Association Player of the Year award.
Now you know how to feel.
I listened to our guy Burley on ESPN FC, and he went off on people saying that Henderson should win the thing. Like he went like, all these stats people, I'm tired of it. And I was like, yeah, stats don't mean anything. Yeah, he protects the back four. Henderson's a great passer. He runs his socks off. The link play, Salah and Mane and Firmino, they wouldn't have anything close to these goals without Henderson. So I was all into it. But then hearing your argument, and I hate to give you any credit, I agree with you. I don't see how you give Henderson this award. I just don't. I'm just trying to convince myself. De Bruyne had 15 goals and 22 assists. Breaks the assist
record for assists. Tied the record, yeah.
He had the best season this year out of a Premier League player, and that should be the definition. Henderson was vital to Liverpool's success. They didn't look the same without him. But that's a different award. I don't know what award that is, but this isn't it. So I agree with you. He gets some kind of award, like best captain.
I joke about the Spirit Award just because it sounds funny, and it reminds me of like the trophy, the participation trophy. But no, you're right. Look, I think we hit on this even earlier in the season. Jordan Henderson may have been the most important player on the best team in the Premier League. He may have been for their success the thing that made them tick. But that's not the player of the year. It's a different type of thing. Now look, like Van Dijk getting the Ballon d'Or, I didn't want him to get it because he's a Liverpool player.
Yeah.
If he would have, though, you could have said he was the best overall footballer in the world that year. You could make an argument for that. You really can, because the things that he's done at center back are like mind blowing. Now they don't usually give it to him because they're going to give it to an offensive player or whatever. But you can make that case. But when you just look at Henderson and just look at it, he's very good. He's improved a lot. And again, he is probably your most important player. But like you said, that's got to be called something else. Maybe we'll do, anyone that has a thought on this, And look, if it's funny, send it. I'll laugh at it on Twitter at @Rash_podcast. But if you have a serious one, let's think about it. Like I talked about like the sixth man in basketball or things like that. There's something about that idea of you're the glue that holds it all together. Maybe
it's the punch you in the face horse award for glue, being the glue. I don't know.
We've got that.
The glue award.
We have that.
All right. Well, I think we're in agreement. Look, you take Henderson off and you put Keita in, they're not the same. That doesn't make Henderson the player of the year. It makes him, like you say, vital. So I hate that we agree. It pisses me off. I really wanted to come in here strong with that. Look, he's a great captain, great leader, like I said. But, yeah, I agree with you. All right, let me just – you only get 10 seconds for your next question since we killed so much time there. I just want to give you quick thoughts on this MLS is back tournament. I want to ask you, if the Crew win this thing, first of all, what does the trophy look like? And do you give a shit? And do you put it up in your trophy cabinet at the new Crew Stadium?
I actually care. I think.
Is it a trophy? I forget. Is it?
No, look, there's got to be a cup.
You lift it at the end? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. There'll be fireworks.
Maybe it's a gift certificate somewhere.
Look, it'll be the MLS version of your $1 million celebration. It'll be like a $50,000 celebration with the guys holding sparklers in the back going like this. But no,
it has no history, Eric. There's no history. It's the first one and probably the only one that'll ever happen.
Look, that makes it even more valuable.
Right, maybe.
It's the only COVID Cup. Look, if the Crew lost all 3 matches and were terrible, I would not give a shit about this. But the fact the fact that they're so good and they actually could win it, for some reason, it's making it feel better to me.
Now you seem like you're enjoying yourself. Yeah.
I've got an update too. I think Matt and I are gonna venture out to the socially distanced watch party tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to. Oh, where? Where is it?
With you.
Oh.
What do you mean where?
I thought you had another one. I thought there was a better one.
You're going.
I thought you had a better. I thought we had a better opportunity than our boy Eric's. I was like, wait, where's the watch party?
Thanks for the invite, Eric. We found something better.
No, it's good. They project it onto the garage. It's HD quality. It's pretty good, man.
Oh no, nice. So look, weather permitting, I think Matt and I are gonna.
No, you get your mask on. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. All right. So I got to ask you something here. I think we both agree that Pulisic has had a successful first season in the Premier League.
Yes.
We kind of had set some goals for him or whatever, but I mean, at the end of the day, just really, really killed it. What does he need to do for you to take a step forward next season, to move from just having, a solid first season to really cementing himself as one of the stars, or at least one of the young stars in the Premier League?
So, let's say barring injury, no injuries. Let's say he does get injured at all. First of all, he can't let that happen again. He needs to play the amount of games that Mason Mount played. He needs to be in that 40 to 50 game range of playing. That means majority of Premier League games he starts, most of the other big cup games. If they're in the Champions League, he starts most of the Champions League games. Like, I'm talking like he gets one rest. Like, he is a standout starter. 40 to 50 games he appears next year. And he gets 15 goals, 11 assists kind of year, 17, 11, somewhere around there. And he's a big part of their success. That's what he has to do. And the weird thing is, it's something out of his control. He has to be injury-free. I want to see a real full season injury-free, because if he gets another one, then he's prone. You're 22, 21, and now he'll be 22. Then you're going to, you can't do a whole season. You can't be relied on for the whole season. So let me see his appearance numbers. I'm not worried about his goals and assists. He'll get those. Let those appearances get higher and higher. And I want starts. None of this bullshit where he gets subs and we're still questioning why he got subbed and stuff like that. So that's how I see it.
Okay, what about performance-wise, though?
For a team-wise or him?
Him.
Like I said, he's got to go, that 17, 11 assists.
You think 17, 11?
Yep.
All right, look, you know what?
15 to 17, yeah. Somewhere in that range.
Well, I mean, look, he's already right there around 10. I mean.
Another 7 with that many games?
You know what? It just sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Once you're dancing around that 20 goals in the season level, you're getting up to
Elite.
the
I know.
golden boot. So
That's why 17. Maybe it's 15, but it's
no. I think 17 and 11 is definitely.
What did he get? 10 and 10? What did he get this year? Overall, all competitions. It was like 10 and 10.
It was close to that. Yeah. No, you're right, because it was 9 Premier League goals and he had a Champions League goal.
Right, and then the assists were higher outside of the Premier League.
Yeah, and so it was like 9 and 4 and 1
9
and
and 4 Premier League, yeah.
So yeah. So, look, all comps, or are you saying Premier League 17?
I was saying all comps, actually, yeah.
Well, okay, Premier. If he got 15 goals,
15 in the Premier League, and he gets another 3
assists in the Premier League.
Yeah,
good, solid.
Yeah, but then the next year, when he's 23, it's got to keep climbing that little bit.
Yeah, my hope is that he is one of the top 5 or 6 players, attacking players, we'll say, in the Premier League.
Right.
When he's 25, 26 years old. That's my dream or hope for him.
Do you think and I'm being serious, attack players, I'm talking, forwards, the attacking mids. Do you think he's in the top 30 right now in the Premier League?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Possibly top 20, I would say.
I look at his numbers. I was like, man, that's kind of low. But after those top elite guys that are getting, the 20, 18, 17 goal, after you get out of that group, it drops down to him and a few other people.
I think you said recently that under 21, he's like top numbers in the Premier League.
He's really, as far as the young players, he's top of the heap. And I'm telling you, it was 50-50 on Twitter early on. A lot of people were kind of clowning him and they wasted money. They just got him for the shirt sales in America. He's not really. Everyone now, I've been struggling to find someone say a bad word about him lately. You just, it's an eyeball test. You just look at it, man. He's killing it.
Oh, Christian Pulisic, I love you.
Beautiful.
All right, Eric Neal, my last Belland Award for the Premier League season goes to not you, not Jose Mourinho, Andreas Pereira from Manchester United. This dingbat. You're probably like, I didn't even know he still played in the Premier League. You're probably thinking. This guy was asked on YouTube channel to name his most arrogant opposition.
Okay.
This is what he replied. I don't like that guy Milner. I don't like him. Then he goes, to be honest, I really don't like that defender, Van Dijk. He's really arrogant. I respect him. He is a good player. I've had confrontations with him on the pitch. He's boring.
He's boring?
Who the hell is Andreas Pereira, man? I've heard of him. I've seen him play for Manchester United. You want to know what he's done? He's 24 years old. He came to Manchester United 6-7 years ago. He's played 45 times for Manchester United with 2 goals. He's had 2 loan spells. Who the hell is he to be criticizing James Milner, who I have never heard anybody really say bad things about? Have you?
No. Me, I love to bash Liverpool, but he's the very last person on that team that I would ever.
He seems like a hard work. James Milner seems like they say he's a fun-loving, funny guy.
And he doesn't do any of the shithousery.
No. And Van Dijk is Van Dijk. Is he cocky sometimes? Yeah, but you know what? You're that good. You can be a little confident.
I would have to agree with you on that.
And I'm sure he was talking trash to him when he came on the field to Pereira. But
I hate to admit this, but I'm 100% with you on this.
He's boring? And what? Okay, so Andreas Pereira, if you happen to be in the Premier League next year, good luck. But you are my Belland Award winner.
Oh, wow. That's actually a good one. I don't agree with all of your Bellands, but this Belland,
thanks.
What are you talking about?
You like my Belland?
All right, my Belland Award winner this week goes to Newcastle beat writer Luke Edwards. This clown isn't from the Northeast and loves winding up our supporters every chance he gets. His tweet today that he put out said, if you're launching a very public bid to buy Newcastle United, you should get everything sorted before you do so. What you don't do is leak a bid, give inaccurate updates on progress of a bid, and pretend there is no problems, issues, or barriers, and then blame the Premier League when there are. Okay. Now, this guy, he goes on and on just with stupid-ass takes. playing off the Rafa versus Cabbage. He's just an asshole. He's from London, I think, but he is assigned up here to the Northeast, and you just want to smack the shit out of the guy. I can't stand him. All right, so he's done that now. The PIF is the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. Okay, they're the majority people that are putting this bid together. That's where most of the money's coming from. All right,
allegedly.
Yeah. This thick bastard Edwards thinks he's some sort of business genius and knows how they should have gone about the takeover. Okay, so my first instinct was just to type "shut the fuck up" and go on with my day. But then I saw a very well thought out tweet from Kevo165. He's at KEVO175. I said 165. He's at KEVO175. Okay. He said, "No offense, Luke, but you write articles for newspapers. These guys, PIF, do billion-pound deals for breakfast, and you're writing rubbish about getting their things right before they do. So do you realize how silly you're making yourself look right now, pal?" Now, that really says it a lot better than the way I was going to say it. Because all I could think of was just shut the fuck up. Stop doing that stuff. Right?
Your intellectual way.
Right. So Kev's point that PIF know a little bit more about business than the wind-up merchant Edwards is the right one. Let's look at some of the recent acquisitions that the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia has been up to lately. And so let's. They disclosed a $713 million stake in Boeing, around $522 million in Citigroup, $522 million in Facebook, $495 million in Disney. We've got here, I'm losing my, here we go. Then they've got also SoftBank and Berkshire Hathaway. They didn't disclose the stake in Berkshire Hathaway. They've also disclosed an $827 million stake in oil company BP. So,
what about Newcastle?
A 330 or whatever million pound deal for Newcastle United is not a big deal for them. This is something that they do like for fun in between their real deals. So this clown acting like these guys don't know what they're doing in the purchase, but somehow he knows what he's doing is just, it takes the cake. So for talking out of your ass for a living, Luke Edwards, you are my Bellend Award winner.
You fucking bellend.
All right, it's time for this week's Twitter shout-outs. As always, a huge thank you to Andrew Wells. He's our reporter on the streets of Newcastle. He's at Wellesley95NUFC. Also, a big thank you again to at RealUSMNT. They post all you need to know about the men's national team. They've been doing a lot of retweeting for us lately. We really appreciate those guys. The Shoot the Defense podcast, they're at Shoot the Defense. The Ball Chat podcast, they're at Ball Chat 1. The Bryant and Me podcast, even though one of them supports Liverpool, we still love them. They're at Bryant and Me. Thanks for all the retweets each week when we're promoting the pod. We really appreciate it. My funnies that I kind of found this week that I really liked. Troll Football, they're at Troll Football. Man City is planning to hire a team of the best lawyers to overturn their FA Cup semifinal loss against Arsenal. So I thought that was actually pretty good. The stats here, now this isn't really funny, but it kind of blows your mind when you see it, but it says Van Dijk versus Maguire for the 2019-20 Premier League season, right?
Okay.
Blocks, Van Dijk had 15 blocks, Maguire had 18. Interceptions, Van Dijk had 39, Maguire had 67. Tackles won, 12 for Van Dijk, 21 for Maguire. Headed clearances, 80 for Van Dijk, 92 for Maguire. Errors leading to a goal, 1 for Van Dijk, 0 for Maguire. Now, I will say the eyeball test tells a completely different story.
I was going to say stats do lie.
Those stats maybe do lie, but Maguire's been getting a lot of stick lately, especially at the end of the season where like he just had some weird, like those Phil Jones type mistakes where you're kind of upside down and crawling backwards on the field and just didn't look right or whatever. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
You know what? That says that stats can overdo it because 10 out of 10 people would take Van Dijk.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I don't know what it tells you. You got to read between the lines there.
Yeah. This other one I saw, It was classic. It was this picture of this family with this sign saying "We'll be back." Leeds on it for when Leeds got relegated. Was it 17 years ago or something like that?
Yes, 16.
Right. And they weren't even out for 16, so it would have been 17 years ago. Oh.
Fudo this.
Yeah. Anyway, but then they got the same family with a new sign that says "We are back," but they're all grown up. They look like 100 years older. I swear it's like a time machine or something. It's beautiful. And the last one I got is ESPN FC. I cried when I read this. I couldn't even believe it. But it says Luka Modric is 34. Rodrigo's dad is 35. So it says when he found out that my father was 35 years old, he didn't believe it. He then told me I should respect him as he was old enough to be my father. Since then, he has always called me son, and I call him dad.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So Rodrigo's dad, I looked it up. I think he was 15 when he had him. So,
it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Hey, look, we all got in that kind of trouble, didn't we? Just a lot later in life. We have no excuse.
We have no excuse.
Yeah, so anyway.
We're somebody's great-grandfather.
Hey, look, another one in the books. Beautiful wrap up to the season. We got other things. We got the Champions League coming back.
Yep.
We've got the MLS tournament. All sorts of good stuff happening. So, we'll be back at it next week.
Yeah, man. You can come back from St. James's Park. You're relieved. You don't have to tent outside anymore. And that was a fun Liverpool season, bro. We're going to continue it next week. It's not the end for us. But always good to see you, my man, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, man. I'll be working on the Orlando background for MLS Cup.
Can't wait. It's called the COVID Cup.
That's right.
That's our show for this week. Please check us out on Twitter at @Rash_podcast, on Facebook at 2Rash Challenges, or email us at 2rashchallenges@gmail.com. Also check out our website, 2rashchallenges.com, where you can find articles, videos, and photos. And if you like the show, tell a friend, and make sure you go to iTunes and give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, for Eric, our producer and engineer Ezra Jack Lewis, our main man on the streets Andrew Wells, and myself, we say cheers.